A pleasant good evening, everyone. We welcome you to the Spartan Bowl in Connorsville as we bring you sectional basketball right here on Radio Troy Digital Sports. It is game one of what will be a very interesting tournament, a very balanced tournament this year here in Connorsville. Tonight, the Red Devils try to get back on track after slumping at the end of the year. They are now 10-11 coming into tonight's contest. They'll be taking on the Arabians of Pendleton Heights, who come in at 15-8. I'm Troy Naragowski, joined tonight by Tyrus Jenkins, who is a junior at Richmond High School, who has seen the Red Devils play several times this year. We're going to ask him a little bit here in a moment about the Red Devils and the Arabians, what kind of matchup we're looking at here tonight. By the way, game two tonight, it's New Pal against Connorsville. That game will tip off at around 7:30. All right, Tyrus, thanks for being with us. Number one, great to have you with us. And by the way, if you know, Tyrus also a part of the Richmond football team, so I know you guys are working hard in the offseason to get ready for a brand new year. But it is basketball time, it is tournament time, and the feeling's a whole lot different when you get to one and done. Give me your thoughts on Richmond. They did slump down the stretch getting ready for this tournament.
Yeah, Troy, Richmond did kind of slow down at the end of the season, and it's starting to show, but at the same time, they still have the stride and the passion for this game. And I think it's going to be a really good matchup because I feel that Braxton Hurley, Kellyanna Lauderdale, and Anna Creech are going to show out for their senior year in sectionals, and I feel like it's going to be a really good game for those three.
Let me tell you what, and the one thing about those three, knowing that you're talking about your senior year, that makes it even tougher emotionally. But the other thing about tonight's game, too, is you're talking about sickness this week, and one of Richmond's best players, you speak of Braxton Hurley, has been sick this week. How will that affect tonight's game?
It's going to affect it because it's going to affect her gameplay, because if she goes out because she's not feeling too well, that could mean a lot for the Red Devils because that is their leading scorer at Richmond.
Yeah. And if they don't have her, who else steps up for them? That's another key. KK is a capable.
Kellyanna Lauderdale, yeah. I can see that. And maybe the junior, Kiara Wright. She has a nice basketball experience behind her, and she could easily take over for Braxton Hurley, even next year as a senior for her.
Yeah. Well, tell you what, on the other side of the ledger, we're talking about a Pendleton Heights team that comes in at 15-8. You look at their numbers, and nothing, Tyrus, stands out at you. They don't have somebody that's averaging 20 points per game. They got a very balanced attack coming into this one here tonight.
Yes, indeed. And Lauren Lane, she's scoring about 10.6 a game, which really affects the team and how they play. And they build around her. Plus, that's the senior.
And Caitlin Graham is another one averaging 10 points per game. And then, of course, you look in the middle, they have a little bit of size. That's something that the Red Devils have had troubles with this year. Sometimes other teams with a little more size in the rebounding department. How much will that play in a factor this one tonight?
It's gonna affect them, Troy, because rebound means a lot. Offensive rebounds, the points after the offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds, getting the ball back, and rebounding affects a lot. Size means a lot here, especially for the rebounding game.
All right, one other area, and we'll take a break. This is a game where you can't turn the basketball over. As I said, you're one and done. The nerves are a little bit more. The tension is a little bit more. And I think turnovers are big anytime in basketball throughout the regular season, but they seem to be magnified even a little bit more when it comes to tournament play. And the Red Devils have had a little bit of a problem holding on to the basketball late in the year. What do you do to calm everybody down to the beginning of the year and make sure that they hold on to the basketball as much as they can?
Well, what needs to happen for them to hold the basketball is they need to slow down, not rushing everything. Because we see that, let's say that we have Braxton Hurley, she'll get the ball and she'll automatically try to drive up the court as fast as possible and score as fast. But what she doesn't understand is you have to slow down sometimes in order to score. And then we also see that Richmond can cause a lot of turnovers.
Sure.
They can get the ball, but that's really going to have to affect the way they play. They're going to have to stop getting all the turnovers here if they really want to pull this one out.
You know, the other thing I like about Richmond, and you know this too, is that defensively I love that zone because they'll stretch that zone beyond the three-point line. I think other teams have a trouble a little bit reading it. Is it a 2-3? Is it a 1-1-3? The two guards extend themselves, and the other one comes right behind them, so other teams have a real hard time mastering that zone.
Yeah, and sometimes when they even do the press defense, it's really hard for other teams to get around because the Richmond Red Devils are very intense.
And they're very quick, too. When you put Hurley on the front of that, you have KK on the front of that to get a lot of deflections, and that's a huge key for the Red Devils here tonight as well. It is game one of a busy week. In fact, there are several games coming up at South Dearborn tonight as we look at some of the area teams in action. Franklin County won't play until Wednesday, but South Dearborn will play Rushville tonight. At Northeastern tonight, Centerville is taking on Winchester in the opening game. That'll be followed by Lincoln and Hagerstown. And then at Union City tonight, Tri and Blue River will hook horns, two of the favorites in that tournament. And then Seton and Randolph Southern play in the second game of that sectional tournament as well. We are just moments away. The tip-off, Richmond and Pendleton Heights. It's all coming up right here on Radio Troy Digital Sports. Great to have you with us as we bring you sectional basketball.
Looking for future leaders we can trust and believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Indiana. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It begins by making their grades and being on time for practice. It includes learning to listen, following directions, accepting responsibility, being a good role model. And it's about respect for officials, opponents, the rules, and each other. The result? It transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. High school sports. There's so much more than just a game. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
We are back once again here in Connorsville. The national anthem will be coming up in just a couple of moments. Great to have you with us tonight as we bring you sectional basketball. Troy Narangowski, Tyrus Jenkins. We are just moments away from the tip-off here tonight. By the way, Richmond will be the visiting team here this evening. If they win tonight, then that means tomorrow night, when you look at the bracket, or I should say on Friday night, when you look at the bracket, the Red Devils would also be the visiting team, or take that back, they'd be the home team against Mount Vernon, a team that they lost to early up at Mount Vernon. So it's, again, Richmond, Pendleton, New Pal and Connorsville, Mount Vernon and Greenfield Central both got the byes to Friday night. And then, of course, the championship game will be coming up on Saturday. That will be a 7:30 tip-off time here again at the Spartan Bowl in Connorsville. Red Devils will go with Hurley, Lauderdale, Creech, Wright, and Woolridge. Pendleton Heights will go with Landis, Graham, Dwiggins, Davis, and Connor. Now, I would imagine that for the Red Devils, they might be a little bit deeper because you're going to bring a couple of players off the bench, including Orr and Allen, two freshmen who have gotten a lot of time this year. Look at Stevens will come off the bench, and Mullins off the bench as well. You look at Pendleton, some of the players they have coming off the bench from a minute standpoint, their numbers are not quite what the Red Devils are in the amount of time played throughout the regular season. So that could be a factor tonight if you can get the Arabians into a little bit of foul trouble in tonight's matchup. Well, I'm looking forward to this. I know that sectional basketball time is a special time, and it is tough when you lose because it is a one and done. As we said a few moments ago, the seniors, there's nothing else they can do. This will be the final time that they'll play high school basketball, so that always is a huge factor in this one here tonight as well. The Arabians will be again in their home whites. We will have the last pause in action here in just a couple of moments as we now have the playing of tonight's national anthem.
High School choral student Isaac Wolstein.
Brought
There is the national anthem as we are now ready to get this one underway here tonight. Now the first couple of minutes in a basketball game or any sporting event can be huge. You got to get the nerves out, get yourself set to play, and it's all about focus now for both of these basketball teams. So here we go. All right, Tyrus, keys to this one. Richmond, what they got to do to advance to Friday night?
What Richmond needs to do here tonight is they have to keep the ball in their possession. They have to stop getting every single turnover. They have to stop on that. They have to get big on the boards. And most importantly, they need to get the ball in the hands of the seniors here tonight.
All right, we'll find out as you see the Arabians coming out. Again, the Arabians in their home whites. Richmond looks like they're going to go on a defensive jump here. That is Aubrey Dwiggins, 5'11", sophomore in the middle. So this will be, again, a defensive jump for the Red Devils. Everybody behind Zoe Woolridge. Very rare you see Richmond go in a defensive jump, but they must think Wiggins can win the tip. And actually it was won by Richmond, but it'll be Pendleton Knights basketball. Richmond in that familiar zone. Pendleton not a great outside shooting team. We'll see how they will react as that ball tipped in the air, almost turned over. Good deflection by Richmond. There's a floater, a lot of contact, and off the glass, and good is Davis. Sometimes better to be lucky than good, and so Pendleton leads this one 2-0. I'm going to be curious to see how this young lady right here plays tonight. That's Braxton Hurley, and there's a turnover. She carried the basketball. I asked her a couple of minutes ago before I came up here how she felt. Now, she said she felt fine. Now, you and I both know when you have the flu, you're probably a little weak right now.
Yeah, but maybe she can pull off Michael Jordan here and get a flu game going.
Let's hope so. It'll be Arabian basketball. First turnover of the ball game. Arabians work it again. Wilson in the ball game wearing number 24. That's Wilson on the drive. The feed in the corner to Landis. And they'll work it back outside. I would imagine Pendleton will have to be very patient. They have scouted the Red Devils more than once this year, so they know exactly what they're looking at against this zone. Creech working the middle. Entry pass down low, left-hand shot, no good by Dwiggins. Dwiggins gets it back, misses. Another offensive rebound by Dwiggins deep in the corner. The drive down the lane, and the ball goes out of bounds, and they're going to say that's off the hand of Landis, and that'll be a turnover by Pendleton. Well, we talked about rebounding early and a couple of offensive boards already for Pendleton.
Yeah, we did. But right there, I think that was a little blocked by Kelly Lauderdale, if I have to say so myself.
Yeah. 6:30 to go here in the quarter. Here is, once again, the drive by Hurley. Left it short. The battle for the loose basketball on the rebound. That'll be Davis. Davis back the other way. Feeds off to the right side to Landis. Three-pointer off the glass and good, and Landis a three. And the Red Devils trail this one 5-0. This has always been a very good shooting gym. I don't think shooting's going to be a problem when you look at the background and such, as that shot is missed by Hurley the first time, got the offensive rebound, and will be fouled and go to the line for two.
And Troy, I said earlier in the broadcast that Hurley has to slow down. We've seen it right there where she rushed to get the layup, and she got the offensive board, but at the same time she has to learn.
Well, she's one of those players who will go 100 miles an hour, and sometimes, in fact, probably her best game is trying to do penetration. By the way, Alea Allen has checked in, the freshman, for the first time. Second free throw is good by Hurley, and the Red Devils on the board now, trailing this one 5-2. One thing you can never fault Braxton Hurley is the amount of hustle that she possesses on this team, both sides of the basketball. Driving baseline is Davis, and that'll be the first foul on Richmond at 5:47 to go in the opening period of play. I think they got Woolridge. The other key, I think, for Richmond, they got to make sure that Woolridge, Wright, and Creech don't get into foul trouble. Here's a three-point shot on the way. Good as Graham hits from the outside. Second three-pointer. And the Red Devils trail this one 8-2. Here's Lauderdale. Woolridge looking opposite to Allen, off the glass too hard. Ball loose in the lane. Scramble for that loose basketball. It goes out of bounds, and they'll say it's Richmond ball. Boy, Allen, just a freshman. She's put in some big-time minutes this year on the varsity. I love her game. She's got those long arms. Wait till she gets to be a senior. They want to rush it too much. There's a drive basket, good by Hurley, and she's fouled. And that's what Hurley does best right there. You're talking more about in the open court sometimes when she gets a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah. Creech is back in, and Woolridge will sit down. I haven't seen too many, though, this year, Tyrus, that really are able to stop her on the penetration. Her soccer skills, I think, have helped her so much in basketball. Plus, I think not having that shoulder injury from last year has been a big key as well. And so far, she is perfect from the line, has all 5 points for Richmond. 5:20 to go in the quarter. Pendleton basketball once again. Davis. That is Hurley way out front. They'll have to throw over the top of the zone. Wilson in the corner now to Landis. Landis drives, feeds it back outside to Davis. Left now to Graham. Graham will drive and shoot and miss. Rebound Landis. Put back no good. Rebound tipped out. In fact, getting a hand on it was Dwiggins. And now a foul called. They may get KK on her first foul. So now we've seen a couple of long rebounds, and that time thanks to Dwiggins, Pendleton will get an extra opportunity. 4:55 to go in the first quarter. 8-5. Pendleton basketball. Here is Dwiggins from the corner. Missed it, and the rebound pulled down by Creech. Here come the Red Devils once again. That is Hurley on the drive. Layup good. Well, Hurley says, you know what, Tyrus? I'm taking it to the basket.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it this game, Troy.
That's right. That one a near steal by Allen. In the corner to Graham. Graham double-teamed the kick out. Davis driving, contact, nothing, and there's a block shot by Allen as she takes it away from Dwiggins. Red Devil basketball chance to take the lead. Lauderdale feeds inside to Allen. Allen, right-hand shot, good. And the freshman will give Richmond a 1-point lead at the halfway point of the first quarter of play. Asia Orr set to come in for Richmond.
Just showing that freshmen aren't scared, Troy.
Boy, no kidding. They put in some minutes this year. They shouldn't be. No longer freshmen, as they say, once you put in that first season. Here's a three by Graham. It's good. Another three. Graham hits her second. Well, the Red Devils will have to cover that up a little quicker.
A little bit more because they're 3 for 4 here, Troy.
Yeah, Graham will be one of those players you don't want to lose where she's out on the floor. Here's Lauderdale on the drive. She throws that one up, misses it, and the rebound pulled down by Wilson. Here come the Arabians. Landis, wide open shot, rims in and out. Allen had her hand on it, couldn't hold on to it the rest of the way, and then Graham has her shot blocked. And it'll be Richmond basketball once again, 3:09 remaining here in the opening quarter. Richmond will set it up in the half court. That is Hurley. Hurley double-teamed on the sideline. KK on the drive, stripped out of her hand. Second turnover now on Richmond. Here's Davis, three-point shot. That's good again. There's Graham, hit her third three. And Richmond's going to get a timeout. 2 in a row there by Graham. We will take a quick break as well on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard. Richmond trailing this one 14-9.
It's the geometry teacher who mans the ticket window.
It's the kid in grade school who paints her face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen and store managers who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the graduate who listens to the league championship game on the internet.
It's the parent who sells ads in the school athletic program.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
It's the trainers, equipment managers, and ball boys who never miss a practice.
What makes high school sports here in Indiana so special? They do.
You do.
Back once again here at the Spartan Bowl in Connorsville. Richmond basketball. That is Orr down the lane, and Orr throws it off the glass and good. And Asia Orr on the board for Richmond.
She's very tiny, but at the same time, she's very mighty, as we've seen right there, Troy.
Well, and she's also very quick Richmond loves her quickness for sure. Ball kicked in the corner. Here's Landis. Thought about the three. Entry pass will find Connor, who is checked in the ball game. That's Lakin Connor, who is 6 foot tall and a sophomore. Arabians again. Here's Graham, and a traveling call against Graham. Second turnover. So you saw Richmond now. They advanced a little bit more beyond that three-point line. They're going to make sure that Graham doesn't get another open look from three.
Because they know it might go in.
So now Asia Orr will be at the point. Allen in. We also got to mention that Mullins has checked in. There is the drive by Orr. Mullins starts to penetrate on the baseline. Third turnover by Richmond. You know, I've liked Mullins' game. One thing I'd really like to see her do is develop that outside shot a little bit more. Here is Hurley in, and Orr will sit down. Also coming in will be Allie Hall, who's a 5'2 sophomore for Pendleton. So Arabians basketball leading it by 3. Right now, Graham with 9. The Red Devils are led so far by Braxton Hurley with 7. The drive, and boy, they're going to let him play in this one. That was Dwiggins who drove down the lane. That's a foul call against Dwiggins. The other thing about sectional basketball, that if you're not used to having more physical play, you better get used to it because they're going to let you go here.
They're going to let you play.
And we'll see if that's going to favor Richmond or is it going to favor Pendleton here tonight. Richmond back with their starters other than Mullins. 1:34 to go. That is Hurley with the basketball. Creech will set the screen. Hurley on the drive, and Hurley's got her game going tonight.
Good take by Braxton.
Braxton, if she has the flu, as she knocks that one out of bounds, good hands by Hurley. She's not showing it. Now, maybe she's over it, and certainly that could be the case. The way she's playing tonight, but some players play better sick. I mean, that's just a fact. They're really loose and feeling good about just coming out and playing basketball. That shot's no good by Davis, and we have a rebounding foul call as Creech goes hard to the floor. Creech is a tough one, though. She's from a tough family, football family. Their brother played football at Richmond High School. KK Lauderdale will come back in as Wright will sit down. Off the inbound, that is Landis in the corner, draws the double team. Pass inside to Dwiggins, and Dwiggins will be fouled and go to the line for 2. Pendleton is doing a nice job looking opposite on that low block. 4th team foul now on Richmond as they get Hurley for her first. And that free throw by Dwiggins off the back of the iron. The Red Devils come back as Creech will sit down. And Allen is back in. 58.6 seconds remaining. And the second free throw is good. So Pendleton leading it by 1. Dwiggins averaging nearly 9 points per game.
And as I look over to the Richmond Red Devil bench, I'm looking at Anna Creech, and this is possible concussion. She has the sports trainer out there looking at her, and she's holding her head. I hope she's all right.
Yeah, I don't want to lose her. And again, you're right, she's being checked out. She must hit her head on the floor. By the way, the Red Devils, after the missed shot, turning the basketball over. Well, the trainer's back, so that's good news. They're not going to check her. It doesn't look like that's going to be a concussion protocol situation now for Creech. They're going to need her the rest of the way. Nice up and under. Shot in the lane. Good touch that time by Connor. Just a sophomore. 4-point lead, 19 seconds remaining. That is Mullins with the basketball. Here's Hurley. Starts baseline. Nice spin. Feeds inside, and we've got a foul from behind, and that's going to put Woolridge at the line. That's a great pass by Hurley.
Beautiful.
We've seen Hurley do that more than once this year, that little underhand shovel pass inside. So Davis with the foul, and Woolridge misses the first. Allen is back out. Wright is in the ball game. Also coming in will be Wilson now for Pendleton. 5.5 seconds remaining. Second free throw by Woolridge. And it is no good. KK fighting for the loose basketball. It goes right outside to Hurley, who misses the three. And that's going to do it for period number one. After 1 quarter of play on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard, Richmond down by 4.
Looking for future leaders we can trust and believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Indiana. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It begins by making their grades and being on time for practice. It includes learning to listen, following directions, accepting responsibility, being a good role model. And it's about respect for officials, opponents, the rules, and each other. The result? It transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. High school sports. There's so much more than just a game. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Back here at the Spartan Bowl in Connorsville, Troy Derengowski, Tyrus Jenkins. Tyrus will take us through period number 2.
Thank you, Troy. Braxton Hurley getting right to it. She gives it to Creech. It's good to see Creech back on the floor after what had happened late in the first quarter of her falling hard on her head.
But they will get Richmond for turnover number 5.
And it's a good steal by Braxton Hurley right there. And she's going to take it, and she looked like she was going to turn the ball back over, but recovers nicely. Woolridge puts it up and misses. And that's a foul on Woolridge.
I think the last time you were talking about Hurley kind of dribbled in that double team right there.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be the second foul on Woolridge.
Kayla Graham back in the game. She had a nice first quarter. And this is Lonnie Wilson. Nice pass, nice crossover. She puts up the 3 and misses, and it's rebounded by Pendleton Heights. But she misses, and Kiara Wright grabs the board, and that's Braxton Hurley back with the ball.
Tell you what, Pendleton can be big. Connor at 6 foot. You get DeWiggins in there at 5'11". They certainly are bigger than Richmond at times.
Kiara with a nice take, but misses it. And it's rebounded, and it's turned over by Pendleton Heights. Oh, wait, never mind, I'm sorry. It went out on Richmond.
Yeah, I think they got tipped from behind. Either KK got a piece of it, or perhaps Woolridge got a piece of that basketball.
That's Graham, and she travels.
Well, she traveled because Hurley got out there quickly and made sure that she wasn't going to get a look at another 3.
Because if that 3 would have went down, that would have put Richmond down.
Yeah, they've been down by 7 at that point.
Braxton Hurley with the ball now. Kicks it out to Lauderdale. Gives it back to Braxton. Kiara Wright puts it up, and that's good for 2. That was a beautiful take by Kiara Wright there.
Yeah, that was a good possession. Good ball movement. Made sure they got the shot they wanted.
Wilson takes it, and she's fouled by Creech.
You know, that's a tough foul because Creech is straight up and down. She has her position right where she is supposed to be. I didn't see her stick a knee out or anything, and the guard that ran into her initiated the contact, and they get Creech for the foul.
Orr comes in for Wright.
I just think sometimes Anna gets called on fouls just because she's a bigger post player.
That three is missed by Pendleton Heights. Rebounded by Zoe Woodridge. Braxton Hurley with the ball now. Puts it up and she's fouled.
Well, there's Hurley again, able to get the penetration. She did that little spin and got the defender behind her, and then, of course, she had to have help side somewhere in underneath the basket.
Hurley
and that quickness is great. By the way, that foul was called on Wilson, her second.
And that's Hurley's first miss from the charity stripe.
By the way, Braxton just made a visit to Millikan University over in Illinois, taking a look at their basketball program.
Once again, another miss by Hurley. Good defense by the Devils here. Foul. Nyjah Orr puts Kaylin Graham at the line, who is an excellent three-point shooter.
Yeah, by the way, I think they got that foul on Allen. And let me mention, Graham has now moved from the perimeter down to the low baseline. That's a huge key. They're going to try to hide her down there.
Graham's first free throw attempt is good.
5:49 remaining here in the first half.
Graham off with the second. Braxton Hurley with the ball now. Passes it out to Lauderdale. Shoots the three and misses. Rebounded by Graham. Graham takes it, puts it in for two.
Yeah, you got to stop that penetration a little bit further outside. Otherwise, Graham had just an easy layup.
Double team on Hurley, turns it over. Pendleton Heights will get two more.
Yeah, that's Landis with the steal. They're going to double team and try to get the ball out of the hands of Hurley anytime they can possibly do so. They don't want her handling the basketball.
Because they know that's a dangerous threat.
Boy, Allen with another nice board off the missed shot. Well, you probably should have seen that coming, Tyrus, because other than Hurley, nobody else is hurting the Red Devils consistently tonight. So make sure that she's not going to be the one that's going to beat you.
Zoe Woldridge will shoot for two. She's off with the first.
0 for 3 now. By the way, that last foul called on Davis, that is her second from Pendleton. And then Allen is checked out of the lineup again for Richmond.
Zoe Woldridge finally hits a free throw.
I mentioned Creech a little bit ago. She is back in after sitting on the bench for a few minutes.
Good turnover there by Creech. Getting her hands on that ball in the middle of that pass, and it's turned right back over by the Devils.
Well, it's pretty clear right there. Richmond trying to work that ball inside out. Got to have your hands ready if you're right, Woolridge or Creech in that front line.
Graham with the ball now. Passes it out to Hall.
Yeah, Richmond again extending that 2-3 zone. One thing the Arabians want to do is, again, be very patient.
Graham with a over-the-court throw. Thought about pulling the three there. Great defense by the Devils. That call right there was a little questionable.
The hard part about that is you played so good a defense to that point, and Pendleton's doing basically what they want to do with the basketball, and that is hold on to it, make you work on defense. You just hate to work that hard and then come up and put them at the line.
Lauren Lane shooting free throws. She hits first.
By the way, Creech just picked up her second. So now Allen has to come back in. You're looking at Woolridge has 2 and Creech with 2. 4 minutes remaining in the second quarter.
Lanes misses her second free throw. Braxton Hurley bringing the ball up court.
There's your double team.
Passes to the right. Lauderdale from the corner. It's off. Rebounded by Pendleton.
And they want to try
That's
to run to
Graham
get
for
out of
three.
that zone.
Air ball by Graham.
Well, the one thing you notice right there, Tyrus, they want to run so they can make sure they don't have to face that 2-3 zone. If they can get it down the floor and get a layup, that prevents Richmond from getting into that 2-3.
And they come with the double team on Hurley, but passes it wisely. Kiara Wright with the take.
Boy, you got to finish those.
I think she tried to be a little too flashy with that one, Troy. Graham with the ball now. It's another turnover. Kiara Wright with the steal. Takes it, puts it up for 2, and it's good.
Boy, Wright able to show her ability to dribble out in the open lane as well. 4-point lead. Another nice shot fake right there.
Another offensive rebound. And another, and it goes in.
That is Connor. Yeah, you can't, that was too many. 2 big offensive boards there by the Arabians. There's your double team again.
Kiara Wright with the ball again. She's going to take it and get her shot blocked, but it's turned over by Pendleton Heights. After the nice block, gets control of the ball and loses it, gives Richmond the ball right back.
Well, Tyrus, one thing you're noticing now, they tried to get the ball out of Hurley's hands. Now it was Asia Orr. They tried to get out of her hands. So they're going to force that double team to make Richmond get it to one of their other players.
Hurley with the ball.
Now there's another double team.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to trap, and apparently that's going to be the name of the game now for Pendleton. Trap when you can. Now, I'm not sure if they have some code word they use. A lot of teams use red when they want to trap the basketball, and that's immediately the 2 closest players go after them.
Or with the ball, she takes it, gives it out to Allen Kelly on Lauderdale for 3, and it's off.
Now Lauderdale is over from the outside.
Graham thought about taking the 3, but the defense there too fast. Graham with the rebound.
There's another offensive board. Well, we're probably looking at about 6 offensive boards now already for Pendleton here in the first half.
And that's not good.
Not good at all.
Especially for the Red Devils team who wants to try to pull it out. Graham for 3 and splashes.
Well, you know what? And we mentioned Graham. They moved her up from the top. They moved her to the side, and Richmond's got to find her quicker.
Hurley with a nice pass inside. The Devils can't convert.
Well, another one that was you would consider a bunny.
That's Kiara Wright with the defensive rebound. 1 minute left to go in the half.
Well, I think if I'm Richmond right now, if I can hold it, and that could be a big if there, do you try to hold it? And they're not going to. There's going to be a foul. Do you try to hold it, make a bucket, and make it a 7-point game? If you get a 3, make it a 6-point game going into the locker room, which I think psychologically is a lot better than thinking about, well, we're down by 9. But now they'll have a chance to go to the line and do it at the free throw line.
If they put Hurley at the free throw line, she's a very dangerous free throw shooter.
Oh, she's missed her last 2, and the Red Devils have missed 3 out of their last 4. First one is up and good by Hurley. And I'm not so sure now. If you're Richmond, I think you press. I think you try to force Pendleton into a turnover, get the basketball back somehow, try to get yourself another basket here before the end of the first half.
Possibly if Hurley misses, get an offensive rebound here on her free throw and put it up for 2.
Apparently we've got a question at the scores table now before we continue. Well, there's a game following this one if you want to see some girls' high school basketball. New Pal will take on Connorsville coming up next. The Spartans struggled a little bit this year. We don't know too much about New Pal, but they've been a pretty good basketball team in their conference along with the Arabians.
And now Hurley will shoot her second free throw. And that one's good.
Here's your press.
Here's the press defense. Very.
Got to get back, though.
And it's a turnover by Pendleton Heights.
Wow. Boy, Richmond got pretty lucky there. Somebody forgot to rotate back. Generally, that's a big that does that. It's not one of the guards out front. You got to get your big, make sure she falls all the way back where she's supposed to be.
Nice take by Hurley, but misses with the offensive rebound. But they will turn it over after the offensive board.
Yeah, it was Allen who got the rebound again.
Nice poke by Hurley.
All right, here's the key now. Don't lose Graham if she's still in the ball game. I'm trying to figure where she is. I think she's out now.
I don't think she's.
All right, that's good news. They brought in Nia Loomis. That's Loomis. All right. Well, at least it wasn't a 3.
At least. This feels Graham, but more than likely would have been. Kiara right for 3. Misses. And that will do it for the first half. The score is 30-21. Red Devils trail.
We'll come back and give you those first half numbers in just a few moments right here. Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Looking for future leaders we can trust and believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Indiana. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It begins by making their grades and being on time for practice. It includes learning to listen, following directions, accepting responsibility, being a good role model. And it's about respect for officials, opponents, the rules, and each other. The result? It transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. High school sports. There's so much more than just a game. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
It's the geometry teacher who mans the ticket window.
It's the kid in grade school who paints her face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen and store managers who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the graduate who listens to the league championship game on the internet.
It's the parent who sells ads in the school athletic program.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
It's the trainers, equipment managers, and ball boys who never miss a practice.
What makes high school sports here in Indiana so special? They do.
You do.
We all do.
High school sports. It's the we that every community needs. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Greatest thing ever happened for Oscar Robertson. You learn to compete.
Basketball in Indiana has a special legacy. It starts with the coaches, develops with the fans, and ends with an amazing community support.
I think one of these days when you're done and you're retired and you kind of shelve that piece of your life, you can look back and be like, wow, that's really incredible.
To play in a state tournament, to be able to play in college, to be able to coach high school girls, and then to be able to see my son coach, basketball has been my life.
Any opportunity I got to play basketball, I played it. You know, that's what I wanted to do. That's what I love doing, and still today I love the game.
And every time Dad put me in, I think as a freshman, sophomore, there was booing. And then the exciting turnaround when I was a junior and senior, every time he took me out, he got booed. So those were fun times.
Basketball got me an education. Got me to be a worldly person as far as reading articles. Got me to be artistic and understand the cultures of the world, the ballet, the opera. It just opened up your whole mind and thoughts about things other than what you can reach out and touch.
Because I never dreamed of going to college, and basketball gave me the opportunity to not only go to college but play professional ball, and I've been around it my whole life. I'm 58 now, and I've been involved for a lot of years.
Where else can you walk around? I'm a 65-year-old man, and people say, George, oh, I remember you in '69 with your high school state championship team. I saw you at Butler. I mean, it's incredible. This is the only place here in Indiana that happens.
It's the geometry teacher who mans the ticket window.
It's the kid in grade school who paints her face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen and store managers who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the graduate who listens to the league championship game on the internet.
It's the parent who sells ads in the school athletic program.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
It's the trainers, equipment managers, and ball boys who never miss a practice.
What makes high school sports here in Indiana so special? They do.
You do.
We all do.
High school sports. It's the we that every community needs. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
We are back here at halftime. There you see the time remaining before we get to the second half. Richmond down by 9. We'll give you the first half scoring numbers. Tyrus Jenkins, Troy Derengowski. I think there's two keys right now. One of them, offensive rebounding, and that I'm talking about their offensive rebounding. So Richmond's not rebounding on the defensive end. Number two is we've missed a lot of easy shots right around the basket. And I'm not saying Richmond would be ahead right now, but I think it'd be closer than 9.
Way closer. And what we really have to think about is the turnovers, too. They're killing. And if the Devils want to pull this one out, they got to get the ball. They got to make the easy buckets that they're not getting, and they have to keep the ball without turning it over and maybe get some turnovers of their own. And they have to notice that when they see Braxton Hurley is doing good this game, they're going to start pressuring her more. Mm-hmm. And that is their best player. And what they're going to and what the Red Devils are going to have to learn here is that we're going to have to put the ball in somebody else's hands.
Well, the one thing you're mentioning right there, you look at Hurley, she had, 2, 4, 6, 9 points in the first quarter. They held her to 2 free throws in the second. They went out and went in and trapped her as much as they could. They wanted the ball out of her hands, and it worked. Another key is I think KK is going to have to come up with a big second half. They need somebody else in talking about the perimeter shooting. They're going to have KK. She had a rough first half in the shooting department. They got to have her come through in that second half.
Well, she 0 for 4, 0 for 5, and she the easy as we go back to it again, the easy buckets. We know that she can be a dangerous 3-point shooter, and what she didn't knock them down, but I have faith in her, Troy. I think she'll hit at least 3 this second half.
Well, this shooting background's a little bit different than you would be at the Tiernan Center. It's a little bit darker, but still it's a very good shooting venue. It's a lot like playing at Newcastle. They have soft rims and a good background there as well. So hopefully KK will have a shooting second half. They'll get the Red Devils back into this one. Here's how the scoring went for Pendleton. Kaylin Graham finished with 15. 6 points by Landis, a single point by Dwiggins, Davis with 2, Connor with 4, Loomis with 2. For the Red Devils, 11 by Hurley in the first half, Wright with 4, Woolridge with a single point, Orr with 2, Allen with 2. Again, Creech and Lauderdale. Creech is another one of those players Red Devils will have to get going in the second half. Halftime score, 30-21. Red Devils trail by 9. Your second half is coming up in a moment. This is the sectional tournament right here in Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Hey, honey, is this your course schedule for the fall?
Yep.
Let me see here. English, good. Chemistry, trigonometry, excellent. World history, I love world history. Baseball? Wait, baseball? Baseball isn't a course, honey.
Well, sure it is, Mom. High school sports are about so much more than winning and losing. They teach lessons that can't be taught in a classroom, like accountability and self-discipline, the value of teamwork. I may not be earning a grade, but I'm learning how to compete later in life. Isn't that what getting a good education is all about?
Yes, of course it is. I was just testing you.
What can teenagers here in Indiana learn from participating in high school sports? Plenty, as it turns out. That's why they're called education-based athletics.
High school sports. There's so much more than just a game.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association. Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Indiana. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Well, we're back here at the Spartan Bowl in Connorsville, and at halftime, as you know, it's all about adjustments. Who's going to make the right adjustments? And right now, the Red Devils trail it by 9. We talked about the areas that they'll have to shore up, and let's see if that'll be done here in the second half. Arabians basketball to begin our second half of play. Boy, keep an eye on Graham. I'll be curious where they put Graham now in the second half. Right now, they've got her down in that low block. She kind of hid the last time she got that 3. Here's Wilson. And they'll work it back out front. Landis is out front. Here's Wilson again. Of course, they're trying to see if there's an opening somewhere inside for Dwiggins, if they can get it to her. Here is Graham in the lane. Good ball movement. The drive, and that one in the air by Davis. Turnover by Pendleton Heights. That'll be their 7th turnover. Richmond also with 7. Double high screen, bypassed, and the bucket good by Hurley. So Hurley will give Richmond first 2 points of the third quarter. She bypassed that double high screen. I think that caught Pendleton a little bit off guard. Arabians basketball once again. Landis got off to a good start, quiet in the second quarter. Davis just with 2 points. Back to Landis. Once again, Davis. Drive on the baseline by Wilson. Down the lane. Lots of contact against Graham. No whistle. And they let him play again here in the quarter. There's a drive the other way, and a foul will be called as Hurley goes to the line. So the first team foul on Pendleton. And that'll be team foul number 3, I should say personal foul number 3 on Wilson. So the Arabians may have to make a change now for Wilson, as that free throw is good, and Hurley now with 14 points. So we mentioned a little bit ago that with Wilson out, Connor is in, just a sophomore, but again, good hands, soft feet down low, as she did a nice job, a couple of up and unders. Second free throw missed, rebound by Creech. Her put back no good, gets another offensive rebound, double teamed underneath and back to the free throw line, and they're going to call that foul on Dwiggins. Good job by Creech. Able to sneak in and get an offensive board. 6:35 to go here in the third. Richmond now trying to score the first 5 points of this third quarter. By the way, if Casey Paulins wins tonight, it will be his 100th career win. He's been stuck on 99 for the last 5 games or so. Coming out of the ball game will be Wilson. We mentioned she has the 3 fouls. Second free throw by Creech is off the front of the rim. And the rebound by Dwiggins. Hopefully the Red Devils won't look back at this game and talk about how many free throws they missed tonight, too. So Pendleton basketball, Landis 6 points in that first half. They'll go high post now to Connor. And another turnover by Pendleton Heights. That'll be number 8. Well, the momentum early, Tyrus, has gone to Richmond.
Indeed it has. Dropping the first few buckets of the third quarter. Coming out of half, rolling on a roll. Braxton Hurley, she's been putting up points. Anna Creech putting up points. Lauderdale wide open for 3.
There you go.
Hits it.
Lauderdale with her first 3-pointer of the ball game, and the Red Devils all of a sudden down by 2.
Told you, Troy, Kaylana Lauderdale, she's going to make up for the missed threes.
And boy, that one giving Richmond even more momentum. Here's a shot the other way, no good by Landis. The offensive rebound battled for Lauderdale comes away with it, and believe it or not, Richmond has a chance to tie or take the lead right here. Pendleton has let that 9-point lead evaporate. Woolridge will find Lauderdale. Here's another one. That's off the side of the rim, and the long rebound by Dwiggins, and they're going to get Lauderdale, who reached in. Lauderdale thought she had a clean steal. That'll be her second foul of the ball game. Team foul number 1 now on Richmond, and that will quickly bring Allen in. Woolridge will sit down. Now, so far, Richmond, we haven't seen Heaven Stevens. The Red Devils have gone 3 off their bench. So far, we haven't seen Stevens, who's more of a defensive specialist now for the Red Devils. High post now to Connor. The kick out. Here's Graham. Graham steps back. Left-hand shot, 3 good. Big bucket by Graham. 18 by Graham.
And Graham gives Pendleton Heights their first bucket of the second half.
Yeah, that took them over 3 minutes to score. Of course, give Richmond a little bit of credit again defensively. There's that high screen again. Ball loose in the lane, and Richmond tried to get through that double team right there. Turnover 8. And as we head back the other way, they're going to get Hurley on the foul as Graham went hard to the floor. Hurley picked up her second. That'll be team foul number 2 now on the Red Devils. 4:30 to go here in the third quarter. You can see Lauderdale's at the free throw line and keeping an eye on Graham. Now the Red Devils extend that 2-3 zone out. Here's Davis on the drive, the miss, and coming away with it for the Red Devils is Creech. 33-28. Richmond down in this one, but they made a valiant comeback, got it to within 2. Here's Creech out on the high post. Hurley in the corner. Now Hurley on the drive, dumps it inside to Creech. Got it blocked from behind, gets it back, and this time they're going to call the foul on Connor, and that will send Richmond to the line. So Creech will be there once again. Connor again with her first. So here is Creech. Red Devils back now to within 4. 3:48 remaining. Second free throw now by Creech. That one got a nice roll. So Creech down with 3 points. And that's where we stand, a 3-point ball game. Game 1 of 2 here tonight. Connorsville up next against New Pal. Arabians trying to win their 16th ball game of the year. This is Davis. Now to Landis for 3. Got it. Well, Landis hits her second 3-pointer.
And Troy, Richmond cannot afford those wide open threes right now.
That is the 7th 3-pointer, and a traveling the other way as they're going to get Hurley on the walk. Woolridge is in, and Orr coming in. So again, 7 threes. Landis has 2 of those. 5 of those by Graham. So now Richmond down by 6. Here's another 3. Landis from the near side. Missed it, goes out of bounds. Last touched by Woolridge. So now we mentioned Heaven Stevens a little bit ago. She will check in. Hurley will sit down to make sure she doesn't pick up her third. And now you got to find, we talked about that earlier, who else will score for the Red Devils. Here's a quick inbound and a shot good by Connor. Connor just catches and shoots, and now the Red Devils are down by 8. Here's Lauderdale. Stevens on the high post to Woolridge. Woolridge dribbles out of it. Here is KK off the glass. No, long rebound, Allen. Allen bounces inside to Woolridge. Basket good. Good job by Allen. And the offensive board gets the assist.
Those nice long arms there really helped her with that rebound, Troy.
And I understand we have another Allen coming next year. Here's a 3 on the way. The other way, bucket good by Graham. Graham now with 21 points, and the Red Devils all of a sudden down by 9. They may have to bring Lauder to take that back, Hurley back in before they want to. Now the Red Devils turn it over. Big steal right there. That is going to be Landis for the layup, and Richmond may need to get a timeout. Instead, they're going to come back with 3 of the starters, and it was just a 2-point ball game a few moments ago. Here is Heaven Stevens on the drive. Now it'll be Orr. Orr, little floater down the lane, blocked by Connor. On the run is Landis, and another easy basket. Now the timeout. It has ballooned to 13 here in the third quarter. 1:34 remaining, and the Red Devils trail this one in this sectional contest here at Connorsville.
It's the kid in grade school who paints her face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
What makes high school sports here in Indiana so special? They do.
You do.
We all do.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Well, Tyrus, that was quick, wasn't it?
Very quick. It was less than 3 minutes. The ball game was 2 points away, and now...
Well, Richmond's going to have to piece this thing together real quick, or it's going to be a long fourth quarter. Hurley is back in, as we had mentioned, so they try to get some scoring back in. Creech is in as well, and they turn it over. Everything falling apart for the Red Devils here in this third period. 1:09 remaining. Skip pass now to Landis. Landis on the drive. Feeds it back outside once again, Davis. And if I'm Pendleton, I try to hold it. Unless I get a layup, I can hold it right here. I've got the 13-point lead. Graham covered up quickly on the three. Ball loose on the floor. See, that's not what you do right there, as that'll be a turnover number 9 now on Pendleton. Richmond basketball. And here is Hurley. That'll be a block against Davis. That was not well executed by the Arabians. I would imagine their head coach wasn't too happy. 38.7 seconds. Allie Hall will check in, and that will put Davis on the bench with those 3 fouls. If you're Richmond here, I would imagine you try to play for 1. Here is Hurley on the drive and scores. Well, Hurley's not going to wait for 1. Richmond down by 11. And now I would imagine Pendleton will go ahead and play for 1 right here themselves. 16 seconds remaining here in the third. Richmond got it to within 2. They were down by 9 at halftime, so coming back, I won't say it's not a problem, but how many times can you keep coming back? That three's missed. Offensive rebound, put back no, as Graham got the rebound from Hall. We will head to the fourth quarter. Richmond trails this one by 11.
Looking for future leaders we can trust and believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Indiana. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It begins by making their grades and being on time for practice. It includes learning to listen, following directions, accepting responsibility, being a good role model. And it's about respect for officials, opponents, the rules, and each other. The result? It transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. High school sports. There's so much more than just a game. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
We're back in Connorsville. Pendleton leading this one by 11, and Tyrus will take over here in the fourth quarter. But boy, I tell you what, Richmond's got quite an uphill battle ahead of them.
They got a battle for this one. And Braxton Hurley will start off with the ball here in the fourth quarter. Top of the key. Hurley with the ball, kicks it to Creech. Kicks it out to Lauderdale, back to Creech. Turnover again by the Red Devils. It's Allie Hall with the ball now. Gives it out there. And it's off for 3. That is Kiara Wright with the rebound. Gives it to Braxton Hurley, making her way up the court. She will take it and miss the layup. Another rebound, and they're coming. And that's another easy bucket there by Pendleton Heights, and 1 for number 12, Lanus. She will shoot a free throw here after the foul on Kiara Wright.
You know what's tough about that, Tyrus, is Richmond's momentum all going that way. When that ball got kicked out, there was nobody able to get back in time.
Lanes misses her free throw. Rebound by Woldridge. Braxton Hurley with the loose ball. Fought for it. Braxton Hurley takes it, kicks it out to Lauderdale. Hurley from the corner 3, and it's good by Hurley.
That's a huge basket for Richmond. You got it down to 10 now.
Allie Hall with the ball now at the top of the key. Passes it inside, but no. Anna Creech denies the pass. Kiara Wright takes it. Misses the free throw. Allie Hall wanted the charge, but did not get it. Graham with the ball. She shoot for 2, and that's off. Another offensive rebound there by Pendleton Heights. Allie Hall with the ball now in the corner. She passes it out to Graham.
Well, if I'm Pendleton, I do this right here. Again, you're up by 10. The clock is in your favor. The game score is in your favor. Try to find the best shot you can. Even if you probably want to look for a layup here if you can. Make Richmond work on defense.
Richmond needs to watch out for lanes in the corner, wide open. Pendleton Heights misses the easy layup. And Kiara Wright with the rebound. Braxton Hurley's going to take it. Braxton Hurley gets fouled. And Braxton Hurley, she will go to the charity stripe here. Fouled by number 40, Lakin Connor.
Well, Tyrus, you know what? The one thing you got to do now, the best thing about this, when you drive to the basket, you get fouled, you stop the clock. So you're gaining points with the clock off, and that's why the Red Devils need to take it to the basket as much as they can the rest of this contest.
Hurley hits her first free throw there, Troy. The Richmond Red Devils need to just keep the momentum on their side and not give. Substitution, Wilson will come in for Lanes. Braxton Hurley ready to shoot her second free throw. It's up, and it's good. Wilson with the ball now, bringing it down the court. She passes it out to Hall. Three-pointer, and it's off. Another offensive rebound there. And they put it up, and it's good. Number 40, Lakin Connor.
Yep, that's the name of this one now, is you got to get every rebound you possibly can. And the Red Devils have been beaten on the boards pretty soundly here tonight.
Kiara Wright takes it. It remains Richmond ball as it went out on number 40, Connor. Kayleana Lauderdale is the inbounder. Gives it to Braxton Hurt. Timeout by the Richmond Red Devils. Score is 49-39 with 5 minutes and 18 seconds left to go in the fourth.
And this will be a, full timeout.
Hey, honey, is this your course schedule for the fall?
Yep.
Let me see here. English, good. Chemistry, trigonometry, excellent. World history, I love world history. Baseball, wait, baseball? Baseball isn't a course, honey.
Well, sure it is, Mom. High school sports are about so much more than winning and losing. They teach lessons that can't be taught in a classroom, like accountability and self-discipline, the value of teamwork. I may not be earning a grade, but I'm learning how to compete later in life. Isn't that what getting a good education is all about?
Yes, of course it is. I was just testing you.
What can teenagers here in Indiana learn from participating in high school sports? Plenty, as it turns out. That's why they're called education-based athletics.
High school sports. There's so much more than just a game.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
We're back here at the Spartan Bowl. Tyrus Jenkins, Troy Darengowski, as we bring you girls sectional basketball. Richmond down by 10. And one thing about it now, you got to do it one possession at a time. You got to get stops. Lauderdale, by the way, is the one who just missed that shot off the inbound. So Richmond drew that up to try to get an easy bucket right there.
Kylie Davis with the ball, number 23. She's a freshman. Gives it to Wilson, kicks it out to Hall. Hall with the ball again. Good defense there by the Red Devils, and it's a turnover from Pendleton Heights. That's Braxton Hurley at the top of the key. Getting double teamed there, passes it out. Anna Creech with the ball now, back to Hurley. Ooh, Braxton Hurley with a nice crossover. But Anna Creech and Braxton Hurley just not on the same page there. And that's going to be good by number 5, Allie Hall for 2. Braxton Hurley with the ball now.
That was a huge turnover.
Huge. Braxton Hurley takes it, and it's good layup there for 2. It's a 10-point game. 4 minutes left to go here in the fourth quarter. Allie Hall wide open for 3, and she cannot convert. Heaven Stevens with a nice rebound. Braxton Hurley with the ball. Gives it out to Allen. Allen cannot convert. That's a turnover there by Pendleton Heights. Kaylee Lauderdale with the rejection. Gets it to Creech. Good for 2.
Well, again, your defense leads to offense. You've turned them over 11 times. Well, and if I'm Pendleton, and that I know it's going to be a reaching foul there, but if I'm Pendleton, their last 2 possessions, I think first off, they turned it over. They're just trying. I would imagine if I were the head coach, they're trying my patience simply because they're not using the clock wisely.
Not at all.
You got to use 40, 45 seconds in a possession and then get a good look, but don't try to score within the first couple of seconds, because if you don't, Richmond gets it back again.
That's number 40, Connor with the ball, kicks it out. Foul there by Zoe Woldridge on the sophomore Lakin Connor, and she will go to the charity stripe and shoot for 2.
I didn't mind that too much, though that dangerous cross-court pass would have driven me nuts. You bring it back out, you shorten the passing lanes. Because Richmond, again, is very good at getting those steals in the cross-court.
And Connor drains her first free throw. And Connor ready to shoot for free throw. It's up and it's good. Braxton Hurley bringing the ball up the court once again for the Red Devils. Kicks it out to Lauderdale. Lauderdale to Creech.
Can't wait very long.
Hurley. And the bucket's good there by Anna Creech. Game is back to 8.
Wow.
A lot of contact there, but the refs are going to let them play.
Yeah, Landis able to hit that one somehow.
And it's right back to a 10-point game. It's just going back and forth from 10 to 8.
And the Red Devils can't afford to trade baskets down.
Braxton Hurley with a nice take, but couldn't convert on it. And takes it. Braxton Hurley takes it from the sophomore Connor. And she gets fouled. Very aggressive right there from Braxton Hurley, showing that she wants this game.
Well, Connor's going to learn, even though she's a sophomore, never bring that ball back down around where the little people can take it away from. And if you're going to, you better be very strong with it. 2:21 remaining.
Braxton Hurley sinks her first free throw. It's a 9-point game.
I have Hurley for 23.
Make it 24. Press defense, they have to make sure they watch number 40 back there. They have to make sure they stay in the paint with somebody down there. Kaylee Allen Lauderdale with a nice defense. Wilson with the ball on the left wing. Travel by Wilson. It will be another turnover for the Pendleton Heights.
That's just good pressure defense when you have KK out there. You had Allen out there as well.
Braxton Hurley with the ball now. Anna Creech for 3. You don't see that very often.
Well, I would imagine that's probably not what they were looking for.
Wilson with the ball on the right wing. Kicks it out. Wilson with the ball again.
Now, Richmond's going to have to foul eventually unless they can get a turnover.
Never mind. Timeout by Pendleton Heights.
30-second timeout, Pendleton Heights.
That's going to be a 30-second timeout. We will take a quick break as well. Red Devils down 55-47.
It's the kid in grade school who paints her face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
What makes high school sports here in Indiana so special? They do.
You do.
We all do.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Tyrus, you have 1:33 left. You're down 55-47. We know it's about stops now, but you also are going to have to foul eventually because you cannot let them run out much more time on this clock.
Wilson with the ball.
So you didn't get a steal right there. You may have to do it. You have to pull the cord here eventually because they're going to play keep away now. That was a travel right there.
Did not call it. Pretty obvious, but the referee clearly didn't see it.
See, now there's too many people out on the perimeter.
Wilson thought about taking it in. Kayleigh Lauderdale with a nice defense.
See, but I like Wilson didn't do that. She didn't take it on in. Now, she did have a look to the left side with Dwiggins, but did the wise thing, bring it back out. Again, the name of the game now is try to make them foul you and put you to the line. 1:03 to go. And that was not what you do right there. That is not a good pass by Pendleton. That was not a smart play at all. I'm trying to figure out why would you go there when you had a person right there next to you?
No telling, Troy. I guess they were feeling a little risky, I guess.
Well, if you lose this game, risky's going to be.
It's going to cost you, especially in the sectionals.
Yeah.
Hurley gives it to Lauderdale on the left wing. Hurley for three, and it's off. Offensive rebound there by the freshman. Kicks it right back to Lauderdale. Ooh, Braxton Hurley with a nice move.
Oh.
But Braxton Hurley gives it right back to Pendleton Heights.
That's Wilson.
And now Wilson puts it up for two. Red Devils need to be in hurry-up offense.
Well, and if I'm Pendleton, that's my seventh. I go ahead and put Richmond at the line, the one and bonus. You have 28.4. Even if these two, you're still looking at, you're down by 8. I get the basketball back. So this really works in my favor if I'm the Arabians.
Braxton Hurley will shoot her 2 free throws.
Well, I think it's a combination tonight. You had the offensive rebounding by Pendleton. You had Richmond turning it over 13 times, though you did turn them over 14. And then, of course, when you think about how many missed free throws, Red Devils had 7 missed free throws and numerous missed shots right around the basket.
And that free throw drops there for Hurley. Wilson with the ball. The Red Devils need to foul here.
Yeah, they got to do it now. There you go.
There you go. Zoe Woldridge will get the intentional foul.
Well, that's only 6 now, so you've got to get him one more before you get them to the line. But
number 12, Laura Lanes, and will be the inbounder. Braxton Hurley with the intentional foul.
So that'll put them to the line. Hurley picked up her third, 19.8 remaining. Bottom line is it's going to take a kind of a miracle right here to get this one won tonight. You're going to have her miss the 1-and-1 right now.
Kylie Davis will miss her free throw. Rebound by Creech. Lauderdale's bringing up the court. Lauderdale's going to take it. No foul called there on Lauderdale. And there will be another intentional foul.
Well, it's over now. Richmond's not going to win this one tonight, but they got this ball game to within 2. It's that stretch, Tyrus, in the third quarter where they ended up with those couple of turnovers, couple of missed shots, and Pendleton went on that run. And when it got back to 11 just like that, that's where the difference in this game has been. If you look at the short picture, the big picture, we talked about the rebounding and such a little bit ago. But
also with that, Richmond Red Devils down there in the third, and they was just exchanging buckets this whole fourth quarter. That's what really hurt them.
Yeah, you couldn't get enough stops, and when you're trading baskets and you're down, that's tough.
Braxton Hurley.
If I'm Pendleton, just let him shoot it.
And the game's over now, Troy.
Yep. Well, the season will come to an end now for Richmond. Your final score here tonight, as Pendleton will advance. They beat Richmond by a final of 59-49. They will play Mount Vernon on Friday at 6. The Red Devils will see their season come to an end at 10-12. It was a tough stretch down the end of this season for the Red Devils, but tell you what, you lose some pretty good seniors off this team, but you got some pretty good kids coming back as well.
Yep, we have Kiara Wright. She'll be good. The good freshman squad, actually surprising, very surprising. Freshmen are getting more playing time than some for the sophomore and juniors here for the Red Devils, and that really shows.
Well, I'll tell you what, Hurley is done, Lauderdale is done, Creech is done, and Stevens, all the seniors are done for their careers. But again, you have Wright, Woolridge, Mullins, Orr, and Allen, 4 or 5 players coming back. It'll be a good, solid core for next season. Want to thank you for joining us. By the way, Tyrus, thank you. You're the last-minute fill-in. Good job as always. We appreciate it.
Thank
and
you, Troy.
certainly
Thank
making
you,
the trip
thank
down
you.
here. And when you see Tyrus next time, tell him what a great job he did. Did a good job here tonight helping us out in the broadcast as Pendleton wins it by a final of 59-49. Thanks for being with us. This has been Richmond Girls Basketball and Radio Troy Digital Sports.